amani a yeto form sesi a echere se da afenyo marking mo akọ mo office or mo chese speaker beba by say amani a beto form say speaker so e kwa akọ file our court as set aside the injunction of Supreme Court e dey ato omo so no abusuafo sesi a Ghana aye de until say o me file sade no speaker o ma parliament e ma betrase
care about them. We believe that the appropriate thing is to quietly yield to them and wait upon Mr. Speaker.
Sana NPP atena say aye omo internal premise aye nema basa about the internal election amana kodu baabi akokudu say the ode ahwe de ba fi what dey once buy MP no eye adwuma o say minister no na ono da bia no otutu na say MP de the slot ko say yemfa mabu no ha onfa yes ono an slot and no come say o man for adwuma eye won was abranche next premise obelus because obe MP unye why boss entumutumi yemfa ni pasa say MPP answer kire anka no kra anche party mpeni for say eniema na ekoto kwan ye faso ye conduct premise ye premise na aye money crash ye premise as a penny bi tawa chenche betu ne sa na be
it just cannot be allowed to stand.
I wish for higher solid TV message on my kwaba na ba channel so kai say also share link no you say sharing is caring I subscribe to the channel na another idea I was say only solid TV at time because the update bia koso parliament be me no ka say Ghana parliament ye nyina anim say me se bedwafo bi say omo ko independent ba ko independent ni say all ko join MPP na ho asem buja na eyemonimu asem Speaker of Parliament Aban Babe so adicate almost seat vacant now face so after marking and so idea assembly accord Supreme Court and by the court unanimous decision said state of execution for now no speaker so declares as seat no null and void no so eboni masem na enne eye benada me can say October was me that to so dionu mienu ahini mo so that to so dionu mienu na e say Parliament e kwa asetena na nhye ya ye de ba abonte no e de sen Parliament only be chamber about around 8 a.m. But NDC for now accuse the Menka said now the minority chief Frank Anodon press say onunya access to the Parliament chamber before 8 a.m. na no more canon. Now there be Menka the usual thing is parliamentary because Juma lady because 10 a.m. because 11 a.m. and then now we nim there air cost so me she be the feeling e kan ho bi ema e bi ekọ as early as 5 a.m. Na MP before the go na NDC before the go o mbe se bi chamber na the NDC for the air plan say o mkọ akọtena ba bi a edom kese no da bi o motena so we parliament a asa abamba betra ne nsani fon so ye edom kese no na se mengu say the minority that dom kuma no na enam rule na abanti no ama asem no akọ buja me no ka say Abanba the Speaker of Parliament enya metrance but there is a heavy military presence edi no mu ye edi ade na enko for say an honorable member asemusia omutimi fa omano enka mu fa no baba enka mo hye mra pasi yedi so no ado bi dwene so the two be call and obi dwene so the second and aba ko a enne approach for entimi protect Ghana's parliament emum I was set military this is the first time. So the LF video be kind of Ghana Parliament, ye the military air call. Nana Danko Kufuado, or ye a lawyer. I will name Emra, but na mamu breso and near my so Ghana say near Parliament na the idea. I say there be a winning dear our particular sector. And it's our sector no manner. I say ana or yana basa basa. Meno ka say idea. And don't kumana mo me se be funo ISM phone shemu at the ensemble be at the tuja I walk out from the Parliament. But before then, me say ma me betu mudidriso. What a former education minister, a former attorney general. What can be na pese nko video the Emra.
The ruling that they came out with, they were wrong, and we must tell them that they were wrong, and we must get our way forward. This can never happen under an ex parte motion. It can never. Certain things should never be allowed to happen. They have never ever happened in Ghanaian jurisprudence. I've been called to the bar for over 45 years. And in my experience and those of other who are far more erudite than myself in constitutional interpretation, it just cannot be allowed to stand.
Attorney General, Anna, your friend to the bar. More than 45 years old in Milano. You can't go on a constitution, say, be a interpreted ye churchima. Ebi or ye knives of Kobedi, Georgia, Okunyana, Ebia Cabana or Supreme Court was say. In fact, rule not judge from the Bible or man ya de crack, dear. Also, who didn't idea because who yache cases in Biane, the assembly court, no make matters or the assembly and Naya, every na almost a unanimous almost akasa was adabraka with ye and koye kono no gidie say aban sumana babe no our Speaker of Parliament ye ka ubia from 1992 Ghana mamra ye hyehyɛ Ghana Parliament wa chepa aban babe ekomo no gidie say aban babe edemra ebeye adwuma na ruling the vector baba about no obehwe oman mu no sentiment obehwe oman no because anya ade we I see none because be I see a break Ghana I see a break NDC I see a break NPP I see a break these two political party but they keep Ghana intact because in your man no what say IDC no say be nim guasem say African countries the European countries I am the Ghana try other African countries in po say mon Ghana e ka Ghana a beacon of democracy na e kokoba say e me se be fie we say me akonya ni a na nim guato fi say abanbabe be the finality beba na etima bo Ghana etima kosore adi adwuma but me can say me say ya dey edom kese a mo me se be fie press conference I miss afenyo mark na futu me se be dwani a ono society edom kese o mo me se be fie mo da no din na oye semtwefo nhia mu na enche obaka ko video kana bro but key points are really say was say NPP amanyuku na o me amanyuku o mo de mra ene di o dwuma was say ebra na ye to ballot na to opaque adiri ma yehunu mu a na first so yeah we na vote ID crown o picture most black and white was say people na mra kwan so no metima edi democracy na chi ama reforms ababedu enti anamona NDC form person mutu me se be fie so omo kan no makabia na say omo to arom so ato am no say omo de omo nya sadum na omo de wonim say ada na speaker emma rule say e say MP before na I minority na NDC for ba majority was all can say still are the majority their position remain unchanged was or to one more the assembly court I'm a screen court at the omuru na bible I'm omitting as several the parliament authorities I'm a big speaker to only you say speak about assembly speaker bekano and omit say speak about speaker be from not be a consultation both the minority and majority side now for about transit no ma no move on na idea NDC for you say we yeah baba yes and I say the same thing there about na me after market can say be I know na me no me omunya adwene was say ye ka MPP a very democratic party MPP a mra party that's MPP a mra party a mra ye di asiama say asiama akọ as konton kro na sa mra letimi pame asiama free parliament a sa mra ene pam sinta morris na yi sa mra na ade pame asiama free parliament sa mra e pam ko yu asande from suma yi e pam NDC ni na yi enti say a very democratic and a rule of law party na say mra wo di obi no and now do be anyi sa na MPP atena say aye omo internal promise aye nema basa about the internal election amana kodu ba bi akwakudu say why na the ahudi be fi what are they once buy e dey the ko fa ba sinta mo say mo ne kodu asante so mo ko independent aye MPP promise obi say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had met these two people mama sinta mo say ne kodu asante but still am yes o me ko Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia what Ghana say the echoes be unim MPP promise the echoes be unim see am bo man for mafia see ye man for say unim why say mama ya why na get so independent no e shirimu e bi sinta mo se mo no mo babo nso mo ko independent no o me de no wu but a man for o mo nka so mo ko independent na e hye o mo ka cho mo ko for say edan do o mo to aba entia MPP no you can't tell and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia don't blame them party leadership don't blame Koyo Asante don't blame Sintamose but mo blame party leadership o ko nya positions ne o position here say o two MPs me busa say Abrante Christopher atana okoktu ma Sintamose no onya sika no yenfa in 2016 ni epe mema amoba rescue seat no mo yenfa Sintamose dey Abrante we eko why now them say the technical director at National Youth Employment meboa and all the kunya sika no de bae and the same be the side de bia be entino MP no eye adwuma o say minister no na ono de bia no otutu na se MP de slot ko say yemfa mabu no ho a onfa yes ono an slot and they no come say o man for adwuma enye won was Abrantewe next premise obelus because obe MP a unye why boss and to me fa ni pasa say MPP answer kire an kanokra an kire party mpani for say and near man, I got the choir first year, a conduct a premise. Ye premina, I am monocracy. Ye premise as a penny tower, change a bit to the Sana Bay. And the passer, Osha after marking, press conference all ye. Na NPP for any, I'm saying, me who is it? Sly, right? The constituency by Adams, Minia Adams, the constituency, we have constituency in the NDC, a month from. Osha the Nemo Digino. Now, share any penny be any more with the ground. You got to point out with a pathway. You could see, say, these MPs were asking, say, the NPP, ye free him for any baby do see. NPP came to Parliament or came to governors in 2017 with 169 votes and 169 seats. And Parliament in 2020, NPP to drop on the seat, I do by real Kakudi. And the MP who said, NPP free him for any baby do see. In our own making. President Kufuor can be tin, can for that. Yes, so I bought the finance ministry. Yam Pamela must say Pamono. And I can't be my apathy at the party when I could be a cocody. Ocean in Guasama Esia, MPP Tia Bemu, struggle to form majority in Parliament. How on earth? On man penny that John Ajakum Kufuor. On man penny that the late J. John Rollins. What the majority from 1992, it could be 2000. On man penny that John Ajakum Kufuor from 2000 at the majority coin. No, say Mahama at the majority coin. Akufuado. O second term, o prayers and out to form majority. Say nyame amfa fear. Na nya one and the Supreme Court wa. Na now to be going with a minority in Parliament. Abusha Fonto sha o mampeni Kufuor at the majority na koye. President Akufuado anhwe ya wo de minority be kofie. Na amane a yeto form sesi a e kire se da fanyo marking mo akomo office or mo treasury speaker beba. But say amane a beto form say speaker so e kwa file our court has set aside the injunction of Supreme Court e dey ato omo so no. Abusha for sesi a Ghana aye de until say o me file sad no Supreme speaker on my Parliament and my metrasi. So also call file to set the injunction aside there. Na case oba betenase. Na the area ruling no. Ebe upheld you and answer bia. Yebe boy go. Mummy ntwen. Enti me say Transsolid TV. Near the update ebe bro. Abusha for. Mummy ko after your marking press e brofo. Yanko emra.
As you may be well aware, there was a decision by Mr. Speaker expressing his opinion on Article 97 of the 1992 Constitution. That opinion led to a declaration by him that those members have vacated their seats. Prior to his decision, I had brought to his attention that there was a pending suit at the Supreme Court, which pending suit was to seek certain interpretation of Article 97. In fact, Mr. Speaker himself acknowledged that on the floor of the House. As a result of his decision, the majority caucus expressed its disagreement with his decision and gave a clear indication that the matter will be pursued further at the Supreme Court. So on Friday, another process was filed by me, and the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, determined the matter and ruled, among others, that one, Speaker's interpretation of the law was wrongful, and that the Supreme Court was staying his decision pending the final determination of the case. In other words, his earlier decision to the effect that those 4 MPs, that is MP for Fomina, MP for Aguna West, MP for Suhum, and Amenfi Central had vacated their seat was nullified. In essence, we are law-abiding. We have heard that our colleagues say they disagree with the Supreme Court. They've been using unprintable words on the Supreme Court. On Sunday, the minority leader, my respected colleague, Dr. Forson, led the minority caucus in a press conference whereupon they told Ghanaians that today they will come and occupy our seats by their own proclamation. NPP, our tradition is a law-abiding tradition. Our forebears always use the courts to correct the wrong. Since 1992, our leaders have always used civil advocacy and the courts to ensure that we get the peace that we have today. On top of my head, I can recall the era where we used thumbprint ID cards and we used opaque ballot boxes. All these are things of the past today because of NPP. Today we have a very transparent electoral system because of the advocacy of our forebears. It's out there in leadership. The country is hereby informed that we will not give that lawless platform that NDC is seeking. We will not give them that platform. We will not give them that theater they so aggressively seek. They disrupt democracy and to destroy our nation. We know there are innocent people out there, innocent Ghanaians going about their business, innocent Ghanaians in the academia, innocent Ghanaians who are struggling to get 3 square meals on the table for their families. We care about them. We believe that the appropriate thing is to quietly yield to them and wait upon Mr. Speaker. After all, the ruling was directed at Parliament and the Speaker, not an individual MP. Yesterday, the bailiff of the Supreme Court served Parliament of Ghana through the legal directorate. The director of the legal department received the ruling of the court. So, in other words, Mr. Speaker is on constructive notice, or maybe I should say actual notice of the ruling of the court. We have to leave it there and respect Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker has been part of our democracy since 1992. He's a senior lawyer. He's practiced in our court. And I believe that even if Mr. Speaker disagrees with the Supreme Court, he knows what to do. Suffice to state, at the risk of being repetitive, that we were not disrespectful of the chair. When the Speaker made his pronouncement and the majority caucus disagreed with Mr. Speaker, we didn't cause commotion here. We left quietly and told Mr. Speaker that the right place to express those grievances will be at the court. So we expect our brothers and our sisters on the NDC minority side to do the needful. But all would be for Mr. Speaker to make a final determination. The nation is looking up to Mr. Speaker. All his years in politics, this is a crucial moment for him to add weight to what we have done to preserve the peace. NPP is for peace. Yes. NPP is for peace. Yes. NPP is for peace of Ghana. Yes. We will not allow anybody to disturb the peace of the country. It is a notorious fact that we remain the majority caucus of this parliament. You, the media, must add your voice to the advocacy to compel our colleagues to respect the fidelity of the law. I have heard a respected colleague on their side, Honorable Dr. Ayini, calling on Mr. Speaker to respect the Supreme Court decision. If that is true, then that's a noble call from him. Dr. Ayini is somebody I respect because of his respect for the law. I believe that moderates on the side of NDC will prevail on the hawks in their party to call them to order. So I would want to thank you for being with us. We are leaving this chamber peacefully into our offices. Await Mr. Speaker's arrival, and if he calls leadership and we do pre-sitting discussions, we'll take it up from there. But for now, that lawless theater will not share with them, because Ghana, our country Ghana, is bigger than any one individual.